You have to go down steps, boom, 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 with these two enormous boxes. Each box must have weighed 40 kilos, I think.
So Surangapima was always here to let us to go to the metro.
He wasn't there in the beginning.
Yeah. Because at the beginning we didn't touch the box.
Oh, okay.
Actually, at the beginning we had many trouble. Like many times, all the books fell down on the floor.
All of them.
The box fell down in the floor.
The trolley stayed in the metro station and he stayed in the metro.
One day the door of the metro didn't open. At the stop we wanted to go for going to distribute, the door didn't open. So we could not go out, and after we went to the station after.
So many things. In Châtelet, didn't the books fall down in Châtelet also? Huh? Going down the, when you got the escalator thing?
Yeah.
Went over, you look at the box, boom, books were crashing down, people all over the place. Quite a scene, you know, they went through so many sagas. Not 30 to 40 kilos each box. Yeah, well, each 24 weighs, yeah, it would be about 30.
And this was before we start to distribute books.
That's the beginning.
That was at the beginning.
Beginning of the day, every morning.
It was like 10:30 a.m. We didn't start it yet. We was already really tired of this mission.
They just didn't bring the books freely to everyone on the floor, you know. Help yourselves, take a book. Very magnanimous. And this is, again, there's not a chronology to this, but this picture, I hope you can see it. Again, it's elongated, you can't see it properly. But it's a phenomenal picture. And it doesn't look much from there, but this was you could say the order of the day for most of the first couple of weeks was cold and rain, right? Raining and freezing cold. And this is a typical rainy day in Châtelet, of all places. And right in the middle there with the purple brolly is Ivan. Ivan's over here. He's just come out of isolation, or what do you call it? Finished. There's finished now. So he is there in the middle of what's happening there. Anything to say, Ivan?
Yeah, they was taking money from their bags, so just hold their umbrella that they can open some money, and they had one Bhagavad Gita each.
You can't control.
Yeah, they were really happy to receive this beautiful book.
Yeah, and look, you can't see his face very well, but there's a really artful smile on his face. Everyone said with Ivan, there's this kind of a captivating smile that everyone just gets happy with when they do. Oh, well done. See? It's like mischievous, almost mischievous looking smile. As he's capturing their funds, their Lakshmis, kind of stealing their Lakshmi, you could say there. Definitely clever. Excellent.
Hidden.
Unfortunately, Ivan missed the last 3 or 4 days of the marathon because his health was not good. And here we have another interesting recipient of Prabhupada's mercy. And anyone has a story to this? Yoga lyric? What's the story behind this? Is there one? Oh, I can't remember the story behind this picture. One of the yoga lyric, maybe Jiva Pran, or one of them distributed this book to this lady. Jiva Pran also, who last year he came fourth in the book marathon last year, even though he was a working man. This year he hardly went out because he had to go home for parents, and the last week he had COVID, so he wasn't even in Paris. stayed at home. So he missed 2 weeks of the marathon, now he did a little bit in the first 2 weeks, but otherwise he was another one who was capable of just doing many books. So anyway, there's a nice story behind it, but I can't remember what it was. Okay, here's one of our Sankirtan party leader, guy type. Anything to say? Just another book being distributed in Châtelet or Pompidou. This one's Pompidou. But the next one is not Châtelet, nor is it Pompidou. Those who are of nervous disposition, you may want to close your eyes. Or those who have type of mentality. A book was distributed to a most unexpected person by Bhaktin Sophia, the wife of Rohini Nandana, who, very brave book distributor, she goes everywhere, doesn't have an inhibition to try to engage everyone and distribute books to everyone. And here is one person who received the book.
The meat seller.
Ooh, say what you like.
The meat
So the
seller.
mercy of Lord Nityananda is meant for everybody, whether you're a butcher, a baker, or a candlestick maker. Whatever you are, the mercy is for everyone.
The meat butcher.
Excuse me?
In Chicken Street, it's like this everywhere.
Yeah, this is just like where they were staying in Rupule. Everywhere.
Oh my
Everywhere.
Preaching a butcher.
Very fallen situation. But this man was very faithful. In fact, he said, please let me put the book to my heart when you take the picture. He was so happy to receive it. And yes, he's
Never seen in the
received
history
it.
like this.
And there's a picture. What is that? Chips.
The birds.
That's all I say on Sankirtan. I go to people, I go chirp, 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 chirp. That's my line. And here is one. I don't know if you can see it. That person down the left hand down there, you may know him, I'm not sure, but he's trying to distribute a book. He's completely crazy.
Drunkard.
As if you could distribute a book to the bird. You see the bird up there?
Yes, yes.
Chirp. That bird was a unique bird. I've never seen a bird like it. When it just hung around, it would come within inches of you sometimes and just sit there chirping away. Sitting on the bike right next to where you're distributing, the birds going chirp, 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 chirp right next to you. And then it was up in the tree, they're chirping away. And I don't know what type of bird it was. It wasn't an ordinary bird. It looked different to any bird I've seen. Unique bird.
I spotted
Probably
the
a
book.
resident of Châtelet in his previous lifetime and took birth again as a bird. Maybe got a book in his last lifetime and came back again or something, I don't know. Or method, or didn't take a book in his last lifetime but stole the book. So now it's getting an opportunity to see the devotees, I don't know. Who knows?
In a bird.
All kinds of people got the opportunity to receive books. That's the point. There's a butcher, there's this lady, all kinds of different people get the books. And you never know where they're going. So there's another person, story behind that I do not know. I think it's a jewelry shop or something. What is it? Not sort of jewelry,
Yes.
but some kind of thing where people sell, kind of bracelets or stones or something. And so she's got a book. That's probably in Nancy because that's what they give people, that picture of gold. And she got a book also. Now this lady is not an ordinary lady. Is this your story, Joe?
Yeah, she was a doctorate in physics.
She's a what?
Doctorate. She's doing her thesis on physics.
Physics?
Physics, yeah.
Physics. She's a physics, doing a doctorate on physics.
So I came to speak with her in front of Pompidou, and then she started asking all these questions, and then I gave her the Bhagavatam. what we have. And I go on distributing, and a half an hour or 40 minutes later, I pass by, and she sat down, and she's reading the Bhagavatam, and she stayed there for half an hour reading the Bhagavatam.
Wow.
And she was a physicist, and it was very, very interesting to what we were sharing.
Yeah. You quite often find people who take books around the corner. You see them sitting there reading the book. How much they read, whatever, but they're somehow or other getting that section. Then she may become an important person, who knows. A doctorate in physics. And here's another one, another type of people who can get power.
What the police?
It's not very clear there.
Meanwhile, the policemen.
I don't know if you know who they are, those gentlemen in black are distributing a book to the one on the left, isn't it?
The
Or
police.
maybe they're arresting him. What's going on here? That looks like Joel again. Is it Joel again?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
They are French monks, representative of the French government.
French monks.
And so they saw us, we were distributing books, and they came to me, and they said, what is this, what do you have? But it was more in a curious approach, it was not like just time. So I said, yeah, it's a book, you want one? And then they all come out of the truck, they had service to do, and he said, oh, speak to that one, he's into that. So I was thinking, oh, a bird told me that you like this kind of books. So I started speaking with him, and then he starts argumentating that, everything is temporary, but the nation stays, the nation is eternal, so yeah, this very...
France is eternal.
So then I offered him the book, and he was very happy, and then some problem happened with a car passing by, and they went away.
So the policeman took the book. Normally they come to tell us to go away, but this one came and took a book away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They're pretty good. The police are pretty good with us. They don't say much, do they? Châtelet probably do. Practically never. Practically never. Vidura remembers one time they said, what did they say to you that day? Vidura was on Sankirtan about 4 years ago maybe in Châtelet, of course, we're asking people. In Châtelet. What did they say in Châtelet?
I was learning how to play harmonium.
He was learning how to play the harmonium and sing.
So I took the harmonium and I was singing because I wasn't distributing so many books. And two policemen came to me and they said...
He thought they were coming to tell him to go away, go, you can't do this here. But they came with that thought, and what did they say?
They said, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm singing some Vedic prayers, something like that. And they said, I was telling my colleague when we were far away that this guy sings very bad. And then I said, no, it's because we're far away. But then we came close and you still sing bad. I said, yeah, I'm learning. I said, yeah, you can keep learning. Like, thank you. Bye.
They basically told him, they came to tell him, if you're going to sing, please sing in tune. Amazing. So, mercy to all. And here's another one. This is, can you recognize either of those persons?
Fatima.
That's Fatima on the right, behind the scarf. Her turquoise suit that day. What's the story behind this one?
Actually, I wanted to distribute to her mother, but she actually stopped in front of the Bhagavad Gita. She took it from my hand, and she was just...
The little girl took it.
Yeah, the little girl. And her mother was like, saying, like, come on, let's go. And she was like, no, I want this book, I want this book. And the mother didn't want to take it. And she was like insisting really, and she was really blocked on the book, and at the end the mother gave a donation, and she went with the book really happy.
Wow. The only 6-year-old girl, huh? Six-year-old girl. And she was determined to get that book. Determined, and her mother, okay. Here's a donation. Off you go. And here's another one of our warlordesses. Warlordess. What determination. Ramlila could hardly walk, right, Fatima?
Yeah, she has a lot of pain in her neck every day.
She couldn't carry books. But she was determined, well, she missed the last 10 days of the marathon, more or less. But she was determined to go out pretty much every day on book distribution in Châtelet, Pompidou, and somewhere else before they went away. Somewhere Saint Michel or somewhere for a while. But determined. Huh? Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, distributes so many books. And really heart for book distribution and for cooking. Cooking, Prabhupada said, this is a kitchen religion. Army marches on its stomach. And she does both. She cooks and distributes books. Very wonderful service. And she had great help. We'll see that in a minute from other devotees later on. And there she is with a famous man. I'm sure you all know him. You know this person? Who is it? Oh, that's Ram Leela, we know that. But who's the person on the left with the glasses?
Your friend.
It's one of her friends. You know, you went to it, you met him. Oh my God, that was a saga. Let me tell you this one as well. Can't remember exactly. We went up the day...
Just arrived in Paris.
As I was going to Paris, before the truck came, right, was the day before. So Namashar and myself drove up in the white car which I used, and we drove up with a car full of books to leave another stock of books in Saint Michel, which happened to be the office room of this gentleman with the glasses there. His name is Louis the 16th.
Louis Prabhu.
But he's Louis. He's quite an eccentric. You may have seen last year a picture or a video of a man in a library bowing down, full dandavats in front of Ram Leela, saying Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's this guy here. He's back again, back in the marathon. This year we're storing books in his apartment, and he said no problem. So Ram Leela gave us all the directions. She wasn't there, and Namashar and myself went there. And his apartment is on the 7th floor. Not even an apartment, it's a tiny room. So small, you won't believe it. On the 7th floor, and the lift did not work. The lift works when we got there, the lift didn't work. Up the stairs with, about 40 or 50 boxes of books, something like that. 7 floors. And there was nowhere to park because it was main road outside, they call it what it's called. And it was a bus lane, there was some building on the parking area, you could park there, and then there was a bus lane, and then there was one lane for traffic. You had to stop the car on the bus lane, waiting to get in and unloading all the books. It was quite a scene. Anyway, eventually we managed to get them up there. And we had to get them down again at the end of the marathon, but anyway, it wasn't so bad, it wasn't so many. But this Louis is a very special man, and he gave a donation of 1,100 euros.
Haribo! That's a big one.
Yeah, a big donation for one Bhagavatam set and a CC set.
Very rich.
Bhagavatam set in English, and there he is holding one book. And he also distributed, although he hasn't been credited for it because it went on his name, but he distributed 100 Bhagavad Gitas. He hadn't done it yet because he broke his leg. So this is the result of, helping the Sankirtan to go with his broken leg. But he's got many clients. He's in the medical world and he has clients of various kinds. So he's trying to give them all one Bhagavad Gita each. So Ram Leela, exploits, preaching. She also had to walk up those stairs many days too, and up and down. And there's another one, I'm not sure here's a good one. But why is that one in? You can explain? Yeah, you explain why it's in. You chose to put these both closed. I think there's a particular reason. I think there's a special story behind this. Joel, still with us? It may not be a story from Joel, it's a story from Rupa. Do you have anything to say about this? Nothing special. But Rupa chose this picture for a special reason. Why?
Yeah, because it's really hard to stop people who are already loaded with bags and backpack and this and that, but those people for some reason stopped and they took Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. She's putting her bag down, practically speaking. That's quite a sacrifice, you know. Booking one hand, bag in the other. She's putting the bag. Now she's got to get the money out, and it's quite an ordeal. And where is it? Châtelet. Where else? But this is an interesting one. This is on the other side of Châtelet.
Oh, the church.
On the
Main
opposite
church.
side. In front of the church.
Ding dong.
Yeah. And he put another picture of me for some reason. I distributed about 6 books, and he's put the picture of me distributing all 6 books. Anyway, life. It's good when you don't speak French. They don't know what you're talking about. You know? As soon as they find out what you're talking about, they find a reason not to take it. And here's a far out one. This is one of 8 account of Ram Leela, assistants to Ram Leela. You may ask, which one is it? You may not know who they are.
Oh my god, the 3 personified.
Who knows who's who in this picture? Yeah, I've forgotten his husband's name, but I remember the wife's name. No, it's not. You're thinking of Alia, but it's not Alia. Is it Alia?
Yes.
It is Alia. Okay, this is Alia. And I'm sure everybody knows who Alia is.
Ali.
She's been here. She's part of the yoga lyric devotees. Amazing devotee who come out many days just to help Ram Leela with the books, to carry the books, pull the trolley, and so on and so forth. But she also got into book distribution and was quite a phenomenon on book distribution along Ram Leela. And there she is distributing the books. And she dresses in a very unique way, at least on that day.
The Santa.
Yeah.
Anti-uncle.
There she is again, another book going on its way out. Oh. There was another lady named Anastasia who was also very, very instrumental in book distribution as a yoga girl. Whenever she could come out, she came out. Sometimes. There's another one. Anything to say, Iwan?
I don't remember.
No, there's just so many books. It's just what pictures we've got. Gauranga Prema was the main picture taker. Gauranga Prema, yeah. He didn't distribute many books, but he did a lot of other things. We hear about that later. And that again is in, I wonder where it is.
No, we're Saint-Denis.
No, Châtelet.
Châtelet.
Yeah, but
Believe it or
that's
not,
between
Châtelet.
Pompidou and Châtelet.
Yeah, in between. There's a little space in between.
Saint-Denis.
Little space in between.
We have
A few meters in between. Neutral zone. And here's a wonderful picture. Look at that one.
Down the
My
time.
goodness. He's already put on a brahmachari coat. Ready to go. Guided typo, that looks like a very special interaction going on.
Oh my god.
Now I understand why people are afraid.
And there's our Jad, books in hand. He's not on the street though, he's in his room. I don't expect to distribute books in his room. These are books for online distribution. They're getting ready to be packed and sent off to lucky people around France. And there is the same Jad on the street in Nancy. Nancy. distributing books. He loves to see Prabhupada's books going out, that's the fact. Especially Arabic books. There he is, there's a lot of pictures of Jad there. He gets a bit intimate with people sometimes. Close contact there. Not observing social.
Wow.
House. And there's his partner. Oh, was that his mother? Okay, yeah, you're right. I think you're right. It is. But he does get a little close to me. We have many pictures, we didn't put them in. But this is a loud one. This is his mother. His mother, by the way, please say a prayer. His mother is very sick. She has ongoing cancerous problems. She's undergoing severe treatment this month, actually, right now. And again, not the first time, trying to help abate the cancer. Here he's with his mother, and he's gone out and read this doing book together. Mother is a devotee also, and sister also. Father, not so much his father, from Lebanon. And here we have his partner, Alison. Alison on the right there, a very enthusiastic Buddhist who was going out on her own quite often whenever she could, but she couldn't go out much because her son was in hospital for 3 weeks in December. Very seriously ill, so she had to spend almost all the time with her son. That's another longer story. She didn't get much time. We'll go a long way. And there he is again. It's the same picture, isn't it? And on Gita Jayanti, and I know many devotees from here went out and distributed many books. We tried to do a book table in Paris, and there we are. You know, of all places, Châtelet. And this is early morning. We were up really early, and there's not many people around at that moment. There were some, you can't see, but we set up the book table, and how long did we last? An hour and a half? Hour?
I wasn't there.
Oh, who was I with?
45
Oh, Garanga. It was Garanga Prema and myself. We set up the book table. We were very optimistic. We took 100 Bhagavad Gitas with us. We were very optimistic. And we were very optimistic after 1 hour, without even starting, practically. Six people came up and just came up to the table, and 6 Bhagavad Gitas were sold in the first hour. We planned to stay there for 10 hours. So we think it's going to get better. And other devotees will come around and do them also. And unfortunately, after 1 hour, there's one man who's buying a Gita, a very nice guy, and we took. After 1 hour, I think they both took actually. After 1 hour, the police came and said, "You can't do this here. You have to take it away." Well, pretty hard to take it away. We had to take the table away, but the books remained in their boxes, and we didn't, unfortunately, finish 100 Gitas. And we had a massive task of taking them back. We did do quite a few, but not 100. It was a great experience, and for another way, if we could find a way to do tables, or something like the Jehovah's Witness do, or something like that, to distribute Prabhupada's books. I know he keeps putting pictures of me in there for some reason. And these two girls were phenomenal. They were so into it. They were so enthusiastic. That was just after the book table was closed. They both took Bhagavad Gitas. They were very nice ladies. They would laugh. They were so happy to meet devotees. And there's Arupa, and of all places, Pompidou. Any story? No, just another book of his numerous books which he distributed during the marathon. Very magnanimous. And there we are again in, where's this? Châtelet, oh my goodness. Pretty easy to tell that one with the steps.
It's not me.
Yeah, that is you.
Yeah, that's you.
On the left.
The one on the left, not the one on the right. Yeah, just doing one of numerous books. It's hard to remember. There's Alison, 3 in 1. Blow it up, blow it up. It hasn't exploded. You better stand it there. Is it standing? Three happy young ladies all getting the bag of Alison, Nancy, she's such an enthusiastic preacher. And the next one is a slide or a picture which was sent to us by Dhananjaya Prabhu. When you went to Romarant in another area which can be reinvented is the parking lots. They went to the parking lot in Rome, an enormous parking lot in Romarant, if you know it, but Clark and other shops are there. Huge parking lot. It's enormous. Many big superstores all in one. And so they went, Dhananjaya Prabhu went there. And what did you title it? Tell us what you called the picture. Something about a dinosaur. Oh, come on. Something about a dinosaur. Beware the dinosaur awakens or something. Something like that. And there's a dinosaur. Is he with us?
Madhavendra Puri.
Maybe not. Who knows who that is?
Madhavendra Puri.
Madhavendra Puri Prabhu put his book bag on his back again, and he's out there for a few hours in the parking lot in Romarantan.
His comment at the end was, why I stopped distributing books and went to some other way.
You're right. You know, it's tough, you could say. It's austere, you could say. It's difficult, you could say. You could say, I don't want to do it. It's cold. It's this, it's that. Nobody likes it. But everyone who distributes books, how do you feel after a day, or even not even a day, but how do you feel when you're on Sankirtan? Let's say the right thing. I'm in trouble here. I remember what I told you to say before we started the meeting. How do you feel? Ecstatic. Well, we may not know the limits of ecstasy, but compared to normal, you feel like you're in another world, you're in a different realm. You feel like you're really in the Sankirtan movement. You feel like you're being embraced by Lord Nityananda or something like that. It's amazing experience. You're part of it. Everyone likes parties. Christmas, New Year, birthday parties. But there's nothing like this party. It's a party. It's Prabhupada wrote himself, he said, for you it is just like fun. Spiritual fun. And the pleasure of seeing people wake up and take Prabhupada's books. You don't ask for it, it just comes automatically because Krishna is so pleased. Little sacrifice. It's such a unique activity. It cannot be compared to anything else. It's not the temporary flash that you get from some sensual achievement. This is something very deep, which goes closer and closer to the self. Oh no, he's got me in there again. Oh God. Huh? He deleted some. This is, I got to get someone else to do this. Why did you delete them? I told you not to. I told you not to delete any of them. You put more in next time, okay? And I guess you can guess where that is. Châtelet. And it's a very similar one. A man almost looking the same attire as a lady. I guess he's a man. I don't know. Maybe it's a lady also. You can never tell these days. And there's Rupa. Also in Châtelet. And this is not Châtelet, although you might think it is. This says, I don't even know who it is.
L'aéroport.
Okay, you know because they may have been here, I don't know. You know who they
It's
are.
right.
Huh?
Behind it's right, Aéroport Paris.
Oh, you're saying that, I thought you were saying the name of the person. Okay, it's a devotee from where? Slovakia or Czech or somewhere who came through Paris?
It's a friend of Rohini.
Rohini friend.
They give them a challenge to distribute one book, but
Oh,
they are not
okay.
even devotees.
There we go.
Oh, really?
They're not devotees, they're just friends, but they came from Czech or Slovakia.
Yes.
And they did a book each in the airport. On the way, just passing through overnight. And at the airport, they distributed one book each, and there's the wife or whatever, distributing In Essence to a lucky person, and the husband distributing Easy Journey to Other Planets to another lucky person in the airport. And another person who distributed books in the airport before I forget is what's her name? Brush Lakshmi. She distributed about 10 books in the airport on her way out of France to India. She was doing as many books as she could during the marathon, but not as many as she would like to have done. And I think this is tours by the looks of it. Who's that? Krishna Pastaya, distributing books in tours on the last day of the marathon?
The 31st.
Was it last day on the 31st?
Yeah.
Last day on the 31st, Mayapur Chandra Prabhu Jr. was also distributing books on that day. He broke his record, I think, that day, didn't you? Your book distribution record? Yeah, his highest score. And many boys from here went out on that last day. Phenomenal. On the last day, we distributed about, how many now? Let me think. Between everyone, about 600 Bhagavad Gitas on the last day of the marathon, between everyone. And Joe, back to Joe and Fatima did over 70 Gitas each on that day. And guess where they were distributing? Châtelet and Pompidou.
Oh my gosh, again.
Running. Joe, I mean, sick or what, but he was running from person to person like a genie, flying from person to person. I was really one. He was come just to get some more books out. I practically couldn't go to any. I was constantly organising the books practically. They were coming, Fatima and they were coming so quickly. And he came back one time, and just before, a few moments before that, one guy came up, right? What did he say, Joe? He wanted how many books?
Oh, yeah, I was giving a book to somebody, and then the person came to me and asked, how many are there? How much? How much it costs? And I said, you give what you can. So 30 seconds later, they came with 20 euros and said, I want 3 of those. And like in 1 minute, I gave 3 to those persons, and the ones I was speaking to, they take a book each. So in 2 minutes, they took 5 books. I gave like 25 years or 30 years.
They were just coming up, you know. It was like there was a certain energy there, you know. Practically speaking, you know, we were stunned by the energy. Captivating. That's the mood of Sankirtan. It is magnetic when we're in that mood. And here, oh, there he is again.
Yeah. Madhavendra Puri.
Not you. Yeah, no, it's your. You addressed him as the awakening of the dinosaur earlier on. He's back in action again. He's no longer in prehistoric ages.
And the Shrek.
And he loves it. Distributing book. Madhavendra Puri was one of the top book distributors in France in his day. And our esteemed temple president in action here. Jai Nityananda in action. And that next slide is quite an amazing slide. You'll see it twice actually in both presentations. This one is probably the youngest participant in the marathon. And there she is. Jai Haribo! Gandharvika. No, not Gandharvika.
The baby.
There's Sankirtan distributing a Gita. One Gita. Sankirtan distributes one Gita. Actually, that couple already had one, but they wanted to take one off of Sankirtan. 2. That's her first book in this lifetime. Maybe in 20 years' time she'll be top of the book distribution. Maybe 15, maybe 60, maybe whatever it is. That's it. Is that her?
Yes.
Where is she? Oh, she's in the dark. There she is. Lady look, Sangita, your first book being distributed. Can she see it? No, up there. That's your first book going out. Hey, again, my goodness.
Yeah, it's Madhavendra.
Word. Madhavendra is very popular in photos here. And
Revatinanda.
Hare Krishna.
Revatinanda.
Top book distributor for 2 years running. As you all know, this year, unfortunately, was unable to participate practically at all, a little bit, in the marathon. But here he is on the last day, glove in hand, distributing Bhagavad Gita's in tour. Revatinanda Prabhu ki jai!
Jai!
I'm sure he would have been up there with the tops this year if he'd been in full flight. And here we are, the same guy again, reading out the scores. In front of Shishi Gornitai, Shishi Krishna Balaram, Shishi Radha on our small journey to New Mayapur after about 10 days due to
During the
unfortunate circumstances. Yeah. And now, that's just some of the pictures, and of course there could have been many more, but some from Paris and from here. Now we're going to go to another part of France named Réunion. And in Réunion we had this year, they had their biggest marathon. There's about 8-9 devotees distributing books in Réunion. And one of those you were very familiar with is Diane Nidhi. And there's Diane Nidhi distributing some books to this gentleman, I don't know his name. But this gentleman is the manager of a very, very opulent and big hotel in Réunion. It must be one of the most expensive, luxurious hotels I imagine. And this man also, not only did he buy books for each and every room of his hotel, or the resort, it's a resort, it's not a hotel, so I don't know about each room, but he bought 104 Bhagavad Gita's for the rooms off of Dundee, 104, he paid 6 euros each for them. And he also said, put up a book table, he had some weekend program in the open house in a hotel or something. So that's the book table there, which Diamede set up in his hotel. And this is an artist's impression of the hotel on the seashore. It's a resort, it's a very fancy resort. So those books are now available to all the holiday makers. They put all these pictures in just to show you what type of hotel. Already you can see 2 big Bhagavad Gitas in the room. And it's very much so.
Oh my gosh.
That's what happens when you just do the Bhagavad Gita. It grows bigger and bigger and bigger. It's special.
Special room. With Bhagavad.
Like Matsya, right? Matsya. And here we are in Lisbon.
Portugal.
I'm sure you know who that is. Can we expand the picture a little bit? I don't know what he's distributing. He's distributing something to that gentleman there. Is it the Gita in some language?
Yeah.
Which language?
The Portuguese.
I don't know which language. They have no Portuguese Gitas. They only have Spanish, English and French.
Oh my
No
god.
Portuguese.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They have no Portuguese Gitas at all, not one. So they're distributing Spanish, English and French Gitas. And some 2 little small Portuguese, small books, very small. That's all they have. And a few other small books in other languages. So all of his book distribution was either small Portuguese books or foreign books. But he did as well this year as he did last year in Paris, as far as number of books. He left it there in Paris. Lisbon is still there, and distributing books. Even now he's distributing books. Together with Krishna Bhagat, together they're going. And there we have, now we're going to come, we're back in France, and believe it or not, we're in Châteauroux now. Châtelet. In Châtelet, this is one of our Indian congregation. Follow it up a little bit. On the street is Châtelet, and I don't know if any of you know her. She every year she tries to distribute Prabhupada's books during the marathon. Her name is Kalpana. She's an Indian lady, and she's a teacher or something, and she distributes books whenever she can. So she comes out with us trying to sell Bhagavad Prabhupada's books. This is one of the, what would you say, Fatima, of the marathon? Who's that distributing a book there?
Sorry?
Who's distributing a book in this picture? Fatima. That's good. How would you describe her?
She's nice. From Nepal and she's quite shy.
Shy little girl from Nepal.
Introverted person.
Introverted.
And but she's actually she did very well in her first, and today she was distributing a lot of guitars.
Distributing books like crazy.
Yeah.
Last 2 days she did 27 guitars one day and 32 the next. And she was not out all day either. She would come, in the afternoon only. She was on holiday, so she gave maybe 5 days or something for book distribution. But she's developed an intense taste for book distribution. She loves it. A little short, Nepali girl.
Yeah.
This was her family in Milan. How do you pronounce it? Milan? Milan. Yeah, south of Paris. And she would come on the train, take an hour and a half each way to get in and out, just to distribute books. 5 days running. On the last day, she got home at midnight. She stayed for the Harry also.
One day she was fasting because one of her grandparents passed away. She was fasting and distributing books all day. She was on the point to just murder. And even gave her something to eat, otherwise she would just do it at death.
Very determination. She may be shy, she may be introverted, she may be small, timid, whatever you want to call it. But she's very determined. Very determined and very... If she's going to do something, she'll do it. She's very... And there's one of our heroes from Yoga Lyric, Gita Bhavana Prabhu, who did quite a few books in his spare time, mainly Harinam books also. We don't have a picture of Gita Bhavana, I don't know. I had one somewhere, but we got lost. And this is Sudevi, the wife of Petit Pavan Prabhu, also doing books. This is Sophie, the wife of Rohini Nandan, also doing books. And this is a class. This is we had on the appearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. We had a class in Jiva Prabhu's apartment. He wasn't there, he was away. But many devotees attended. And that program, Ram Leela was cooking. She's not in the picture, but Ram Leela and Fatima were staying there. And this is a last minute, just like we had a first minute with Adi Guru, we had another last minute arrival. The last 5 days of the marathon, we had Dr. Yorick with us. And some of you know Yorick. Most of you don't seem to know him. He was here last year also. Yorick is French by birth. His parents are also extraordinary people. I've stayed with his parents once. And he's been in England, and he just came back. He's in France right now with his parents. But he joined us for 5 days of the marathon, and he's very big book distributor. He didn't really get warmed up. He could be the top. He was the top when he was with us last year. For a while. And there we have, who knows who that is? Aline. She was also going out regularly on book distribution when she could.
Oh.
Busy as she was.
Sorry,
She loves to distribute books. Although she's not by nature like a, experienced book distributor, but she loves to try to distribute Prabhupada's books.
She's doing all the guidance for the deities in Paris.
Yes, every day she makes all the garlands.
In Sarcelles.
And she doesn't get much time out, but she squeezes out time whenever she can to get out. Paris. And then we have the books, kind of beginning and the last. That was all those books on the right. That was the last day of the marathon. They all disappeared. There was nothing left by the end of the day. All gone.
So how many?
Huh?
How many?
Well, we'll come to that in a minute.
Yes.
And we had one very special book distributor. There he is.
Oh, the Santa Claus.
Happy. Joyeux Noël. is the Frejus. Frejus is, you say Frejus?
Yeah.
On the
Chris
south
Wednesday.
coast, and Raphael, Frejus, that area. On the south coast, we're Gokularani, a steady congregational book distiller in France, was distributing books. So she distributed one book to Santa Claus.
Well, 25th December.
She told me that it was only for the picture.
Oh, you're not supposed to say that. You spoiled the story. Anyway, he held the book. But she did many other books. He held the book, so that's the benefit. It's as good as taking. Prabhupada said, even if they see the book, they get benefit. What to speak if they touch it. TikTok, yeah, put it on TikTok. Okay, that's a good idea. And our last Sankirtan adventure. No, it's not. There's two more. This is the third from the last. A quick journey. One of the devotees quickly went into whatever you call it, the hidden continent, the secret continent, yet to be opened, practically almost uncharted territory for book distribution. And this year, there he is. And don't ask me how that is or who that is.
Oh my
There's a
God, snow
devotee
day.
distributing a book in Antarctica.
Oh, God.
Does France have an area of Antarctica? Is there French Antarctica?
North, the
Is
north part of
British
France.
Antarctica, New Zealand Antarctica. Is there a French Antarctica? Check it out. We can
The
send a
northern part.
Sankirtan party there next year. Michael Chandler can go and cook for them. Actually, it's really hot when you go inside these research stations. They're very hot. On the outside, it may be cold.
It looks like India.
And this is an interesting picture. As I say, chronologically, there's not necessarily a time chronology, but there's a theme chronology. So this is a unique man, a gentleman, who took a book off Jiva Pran. And this man works in the cemetery. Cemetery, that's where they bury people. I can't remember the whole story. Anyone remember the whole story? I've got it somewhere. Can't remember this. Yeah. Anyway, there's something very unique about this person taking a book that Jiva Pran told this to. And the last slide in this slideshow, we have one of the short slides. In this one is one of unity in diversity.
Morocco.
Morocco teams up with. Do you have a little Moroccan in your diary? Which country? Algeria? Algeria? Little bit of Algerian. So unity in diversity. This man, tell the story.
He was very, very enthusiastic. He came to us. He wanted the book. He wanted to take a movie to put on YouTube where he was dancing with us. He danced with us in Sankirtan.
Like anything he was dancing.
He put the movie on YouTube. And after he wanted to do the picture with the flag of Morocco. And so we did this picture. And he gave, I think, 10 away. I think 10 away he gave for this Bhagavad Gita.
Arabic Bhagavad Gita. And he was an ordinary.
He was very attracted by the Kirtan and by the devotees.
Yeah.
He very liked it.
Was he a Berber? Mostly they're Berbers. So many people from Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco took books this year.
Tunisia.
Mostly, all the ones I did were all Berbers. I don't know if anyone else is. Explain.
From Tunisia, I got also
A Berber. Yes. How would you explain a Berber? You're from a Berber background, Fatima.
Yes, it's a village.
Let Fatima explain. She's from a Berber background.
It's a village it's like village place and it's very old and very ancient place. And we speak another language, like special language there.
It's only one place or is it
It's
many
in
places?
no, it's several places in Morocco. I don't know about Morocco, but
Well, they spread out now all over that part of Africa.
no, it's not a tribe. It's just
Tunisia.
people from another place in Morocco.
But they have a different nature to the rest of the Muslim world. They're very different.
But Berber are the original people from the Sahara. And the Arabic came to invade.
They invaded it.
So they are brand new Muslim in fact.
Yeah, they're not really fully, into that. They're attracted very much by dancing and music and philosophy and spirituality.
And that's all Islam.
They're really different. They're open-minded, much more. Go back to the Berber. So many of them. We have many devotees who come from the Berber background because it's in their blood.
I discussed with one old Berber, and he told me that ancient tradition they used to pray a goddess would take care of goat in the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the highest consciousness we can attain is to take care of goat in the mountain.
Looking after goats.
Oh my
But anyway,
gosh,
their
the
hearts
Berber
are very,
life.
very nice, very open, generally open. I had a couple from Tunisia who went on the book table. You can get that picture, no one was there to take it, but came up to the book table, and they were Berbers from Tunisia, I think, or Algeria, one or the other. And the man said, "Bhagavad Gita, I've got to get that book. This book is so important. I must have it." And both of them were so keen on getting the book. Yeah, somehow or another, this Krishna works in different ways. So those are just a few pictures. We could have hundreds more. The devotees were distributing so many books that one has to take the pictures. There are more. There's some videos of stuff. So now we're going to escape from this particular slideshow. Yes, there we go. Are we still online or not? I don't know. And we're going to go now into, what should we do? The overall recap first or the individual scores? Overall recap. We do the individual scores last. Okay, great. So this is an overall recap. We may have to do something to get us back online in a minute. I don't know. There we are. Again, so it's squishy, squashy, and half of it's not on it. This is going to be a real problem because this is all writing, and you're going to get half of it missing. No, there's one now. Srila Prabhupada Book Marathon 2021 Ki Jai!
Jai!
And the same picture as I said, but we did the two slightly separate. The youngest is the oldest. The oldest knowledge, eternal knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Never too young to share that with others. So this worldwide Live to Give campaign was to distribute 2 million, it should be 200,000, not 200,000. 200,000, 2,200,000 Bhagavad Gitas in the last quarter of the year, worldwide. So every temple wanted to give a pledge of how many books they would distribute during that period of time. We only were aware of it in November, we didn't know it existed until then. So we didn't really put an effort in other than the marathon. And I said, well, we're trying to do 8,000 Gitas during that time. So what did we do during that period of time? Target 8,000, achieved 8,691.
Vivo!
And our December target was 6,000, we made 6,411.
Vivo!
2 targets achieved. The combined efforts of all the devotees. Even though we had many, you could say, challenges, somehow or another, the devotees got together all over the country and distributed books. That's the target for France. or the entire combined French, yeah.
Wow, 800.
That was for over a period of 3 months, 8,000, and 6,000 in December alone. Our yearly target was to double last year's total book points. Last year, for the whole year, we did 20,900 something. So to do that, we'd had to do about 42,000. We achieved 44,787 points throughout the year.
Vivo!
2.14, not 2 times, but 2.14 more books in 2021 and in 2020. So well done everybody, thank you all very much. Despite the COVID restrictions, of course in 2020 they were a little more than they were in 2021. But both years had certain restrictions, but still book distribution increased. We targeted to get at least 108 devotees engaged in book distribution this year in the marathon. We achieved 140 devotees. Big or small, literally physically big or small, or result-wise big or small, but big or small, distributed books in December. So another target achieved, that's 4. The 5th target, which was the big one, just eluded us, only just. The target was 16,108 book points. We made 15,868.9 book points. Just 239.1 book points short. If everyone had just done one Bhagavad Gita more, we would have made it. One Bhagavad Gita each, that's all you needed to do.
To reach more than 100.
Anyway, last year we did 11,116 points on the marathon, so we exceeded last year by 4,752. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Marathon Ki Jai. Now just a few caps, capping up. Considering we were bereft of the association of Vivekananda Prabhu, the top distributor for 2 years running. I mean, this was achieved by you all, despite that we were without Vivekananda. Almost, we did, but book distribution, not much. We also suffered many devotees losing many days Sankirtan due to COVID. Jiva Pran lost days, I lost days, Fatima lost days, Vaevan lost days, and maybe others too, I don't know. Naturally, due to the Christmas festivities, others were occupied with responsibilities, both at home and here you had festivals going on, and not all time could be channeled. The boys had to go home, Christmas, whatever it was. Despite many challenges with accommodation, we've already heard some of those. We had others too. The apartment I was in, what happened in our apartment, Rupa? So many things. We didn't talk about it. Oh, the plumbing system, yeah, it completely got blocked. The last week we couldn't use the sinks, it was completely blocked. We had to pour it down like this.
So this kind of things only happen in New York.
No, they have. That flat we were in, the apartment. They said it is not an apartment. It's what do you call it? Studio, 1-room studio. Okay, so they advertise outside. Recently, newly refurbished for sale. What? I don't know who refurbished that, but my opinion of whatever we do here goes a lot after staying in that apartment. You think some of the things here are not what they should be. You should see that apartment. I mean, he designed it. I did not know. Incredible design. Anyway, I guess it's what we only wanted. Despite many challenges with accommodation and health problems of devotees, family members, losses of various kinds, different things were lost. We had devotees here like they went with his finger and the point over their leg, the shock of the house burning down, no heating, and then the apartment there, we couldn't get apartments, we had to move around all the time from place to place. And, lots of logistic challenges were there, and health reasons like Jad's mother being sick, Alice's child being sick, and so many things were going on. The overall result was astonishing. We've mentioned this before, but we'll mention it again. Without the sterling support of the entire crew of Yoga Lyric devotees, it would certainly have not been possible. They not only found accommodation for the devotees, but helped finance it. They daily rotated in providing breakfast in their homes, and cooking and packing lunch for all the Sankirtan devotees. They took charge for laundry, provided free storage of books, helped in every way they could, as well as going out themselves on book distribution whenever possible. A big thanks to them for all their selfless service. They are indeed the winners of the marathon. We also depended on another devotee. We also depended on another devotee in the background. Is he here? Where is he?
He's in the background.
He's in the background. Okay. Likes to be in the background. Likes to be in the background. He's in the foreground if you're in the kitchen. We're in the background, and that's which way you look at it, doesn't it? So he's in the kitchen, but Gauranga Prema Prabhu. Jai! He came back solely and wholly to help with the marathon. Well, to help here a little bit too. Primarily to help with the marathon. And he did a few books, he tried and did a few books. But what was he doing during the marathon? Oh, it says it up on the screen. It's not difficult to see.
Wow, keeping
But was it true?
schedule.
I mean, you were living with him, you were staying with them here he is. So we like to, one of the things that happened to Gauranga Prema shortly after the marathon started, he had a lot of difficulty getting a local SIM card working and getting all the addresses on his nice nice mobile which he had. As soon as he was set up, he was too magnanimous. He was helping someone open a door or something and donated his mobile phone to them at the same time, right? More or less. More or less, he donated to the kids behind him on the metro as he was opening the door for somebody. Some of these doors you have to take the phone like this, And he lost his mobile. So he was our coordinator at that time, basically speaking, and with no mobile. At first it was difficult getting all the address. Now he had no mobile. But he tenaciously worked for a whole marathon, stock keeping, organising prashad, making sure it was organised, everything, not cooking it much. Organising schedules, if there were needs to be, shopping, cleaning, leading kirtans on the Harinams, numerous other errands of various kinds. Many little things we had to do, send off parcels and packages here and there, books here and there. So many things, right? Back and forth between the apartments and the ladies ashram, collecting the donation, the money, and bringing it to where we were, like the office, and keeping the records of the scores. So many things he was doing, left, right, and centre. So we have prizes for the devotees. We have a prize for Gauranga Prema Prabhu. Please come forward and accept your prize. You have a new mobile. Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's a donation from the new Michael, right? It is. You don't even know about it. It's come out of the Sankirtan collection, so you're not going to get it anyway. You have no choice. So thank you very much for everything, Gauranga Prema. Hare Krishna. Is that okay? Yeah. He's already used it. It's not as new as you think. We have to buy it straight away. But it's still, the principle is there. keep him going. Otherwise, he said his wife will kill him when he gets back. So we don't want that to happen. You know, very heavy wife.
He said that without him it will not be
Yeah.
possible
Yeah.
to do all this.
Oh, no way. I mean, every day he was bringing.
There was so many things to bring the book from the stock, from the room to the apartment, and he was bringing the money from the ladies to your apartment, and he was always running here and there.
Like anything.
Maybe we don't see any books on this car or just a few, but actually all the books that we distribute is because of him.
There we go. Top book distributor. And we did 3,000 in that month. 3,000 Bhagavad Gita.
Wow, 3,000.
Jai, champion! Jai. That was a fact. Every day I had to refill, you know, even though you took 100 or so Bhagavad Gitas out, almost every day I had to get more.
Yeah. He did more than 1,000 kilometers around Paris.
Really? You counted it, huh? You
Just
kept track of it.
Yeah.
Walking, right? You had to carry them walking. Running.
So much.
With a runner, running through the streets of Paris. Taylor. Carry it behind. No, the metros. Okay, that's wonderful. Next one. And of course, we'd like to thank all the devotees in New Mayapur who endured the terrible cold, yet still participated in the marathon in wonderful ways, distributing thousands of books here also. And we had like Bhagavati and Manjuali going out pretty much every day. It was amazing. And many others going out, Chitralila going out regularly, and probably with Shantatma probably also going out, and others at the weekend, and so on and so forth. So it's wonderful. Remarkable, and this is just some remarks, that in the top 10 distributors this year were 4 veterans. 4 veterans means 4 senior citizens and old-time book distributors. They're not just, you know, they were distributors way back in the 70s or early 80s. And those 4, there were others too, but I'm just saying the top 10. Aristanasana Prabhu, who only went out for 2 weeks. Ramalila, who went out for 3 weeks. Panchatattva went out whenever he could during the month. He was going out every other day, but not even that. Maybe he only went out 10 or 11 days all in all. And Deva Prastha Prabhu. So he lives in Nirupur. We went with Risnasa, the very senior devotees and old-timers, so wonderful to see that happening as a new phenomenon. And they so much relished it. And you'll see on the list there are persons you'll be surprised to who went out, very surprising, even if it was just an hour. They took part in the marathon, some of them it's the first time in decades. Many of the senior Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas joined the Allied forces. And just a few quotes from Srila Prabhupada. And most of all, to His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, without whose mercy none of us would be here, and who inspired thousands of devotees to distribute millions of books, and still does so with his unending compassion in the form of his movement and his words of inspiration. Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. And 2 more quotes from Prabhupada. Prabhupada wrote to Karanda in 1972 after the first 3-day book marathon in ISKCON. I could never have thought it was possible to distribute so many of our literature. Therefore I can understand it is simply Krishna's blessing us for your sincerely working on his behalf. Actually, that is the secret of my success. Not that personally I've done anything wonderful, but that because those who are helping me are sincere. They have done the work. That is the reason for our success all over the world, where others have failed. A little sincerity is a very difficult thing in this age of hypocrisy and bluff. But I'm so fortunate that Krishna has sent me all of you nice boys and girls who are sincerely working. Please convey to all of them my deepest appreciation. And you may know that we had letters from, especially from Sri Swami during the marathon, thanking all the devotees and praying for your good fortune, etc. during the marathon on Sankirtan. He was one of our primary, you could say, supporters of book distribution in this country. And others too, Vishwambara Prabhu in England, who would be with us this morning, but we couldn't get on Zoom, he would have wanted to join us. And many others around the world, Vaisheshika Prabhu, of course, Vijay Prabhu, Devamrita Maharaj, Pragosh Prabhu, Madhusevata Prabhu, Vidya Chaitanya Prabhu, all sent messages of thanks. Prabhupada said, and don't get this wrong, we know that there are many services, and we mentioned earlier, it's all part of the Sankirtan. There is no doubt about it, to distribute books is our most important activity. The Prabhupada listed it as number 7 of the purposes of ISKCON, and he said, to achieve the above mentioned purposes, to publish, print and distribute transcendental literatures, because this is the method of these literatures, both by hearing them and distributing them, chanting them and hearing them, is the method of achieving all purposes. The temple is a place not for eating and sleeping, but is a base from which we send out our soldiers to fight with Maya. Fight with Maya means to drop thousands and millions of books into the lap of the conditioned souls. Just like during the wartime, the bombs are raining from the sky like anything. So you are the expert in the field, Rameshwar, how to distribute so many books. And I think this is the final one. The sales figures. This is my only solace in my life. When I hear that my books are selling nicely, I become like a young man. Prabhupada said he lived for hundreds of years as long as the book distribution continues. And now we're just going to finish the presentation. Maybe some stories will be there as we go through it. But now we're going to hopefully read the scores from the marathon. We're going to start at the bottom. The bottom is the top. We didn't have time to reverse the order. And I need this full size. We need to put it. This is not a PowerPoint. This is another presentation. We didn't have time to put it on PowerPoint. What about some stories during the marathon? Any special stories you'd like to share? Who have we got there?
We were going to all these tiny places.
I noticed that you were going to Pel Run Lawn and a place I never heard of.
You wouldn't see anybody. You could stay there for an hour and not see anybody.
Well,
Anyway, so in some places we just went to the letter boxes and put books in the letter
in the letter.
There was nobody there. But anyway, we were in Kalpazam, and I managed to give one book to the lady in the supermarket and one book to the lady in the secretary. But mind you, I had walked down the main road.
Main road isn't much of a main road, by the way. There's like 2 shops there.
You're in and out of the place before you know it. But anyway, so there was a pharmacy, and then this person came out of the pharmacy, it was a nun, because we had a convent there.
Famous convent.
And then the nun crossed over the road and she saw Manjuali and she said to Manjuali, "What are you doing? Who are you? What is this?" And she saw the box and she grabbed the bag of the and she said, "I want it. Give me this box. I will take it."
Whoa.
Oh no.
Amazing.
So that was in the convent in the monastery.
Yeah. That's not far from here, is it? 20 minutes from here?
That's like 17 kilometers.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes away.
So But anyway, they have congregation.
Alright. Wonderful. Joyful. Thank you. Any stories, Joe? Yeah.
He's not here.
Ivan?